Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Deadbeats. I'm here with a fucking chia pet.
Whoa! Why do you say that?
Did you just grow
What?
that in a week?
Grow what?
Your hair looks ridiculous.
I'm trying to look nice for you. Ever since Drew came on board, I'm feeling really threatened. I feel cute today.
So wait, you feel threatened by Drew?
What?
Why?
You know, he's an asshole. We shouldn't have hired him. I told you we shouldn't have.
No, he's a really good guy. Relax. He's very nice. He's kind. He's good at his job. He's good at reading. Okay.
He's good at reading.
He's
I
good at
can
reading.
read. I can read.
All right.
Sorry, I'm so
I should
sorry.
call him. Hold on. I should call Drew and see if he.
Call him.
All right. I won't.
Sorry,
won't.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to yell. See what he does?
He tags
drives-
you in. What does he do?
He drives us apart. He takes our love and he fucks it. You don't think he's fucking it, but this is you. Sorry, wait, too far. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry, bro. You don't hug me anymore?
You even fuck you? You hold on. A couple of days ago, you even said, "Hey, Will, I think I'm being a little too much. I'm gonna dial it back." And you do that shit?
What do you mean?
Okay.
Do you want me to take the hair off?
No, you know what? If you want to keep the hair, keep the hair. But I think after this episode, I might talk to Drew about something.
Dude, I swear to God, I love you. Like I said, one more 1,000 times of you mistreating me, and I'm not leaving, but I'm not going to be here as often.
I'm not going to leave. Okay, all right. Yeah. Hey, I love the hair, and I feel like you look great. Did not say that. Let's get right into the movie. All right, okay. JT, folks, Deadbeaters. Today we are talking about a movie that was good. Definitely not as good as the first one, but it did something so different that when I started watching it, I was like, okay, holy shit, we're kind of being told right up front what's going on. I will stop fucking playing tic-tac-toe around this shit. Today we're talking about Creep 2.
December 1978. It was the last days of disco. The Cold War was just heating up. But in a small town... Little bird right there. Hold on. December 19... It's like a bad joke. Hey! One more. Try it one more time. One more time. I want you to do it. I want you to do it.
Hey! No! This is my movie!
And you are also a creep. You are a creep too, JT.
You're creep too. How about you? I get work. I can be witty.
Okay.
I can be witty too. See?
That's good. All right. So, did you say fuck you or thank you?
I said thank you.
All right,
see?
You're very welcome.
Fucking Drew, fuck you.
You know what?
You're
right. You know what?
You're not Drew. Fuck you. See?
You're not right about Drew. He's not driving a wedge between us. I think you're the one driving the wedge between us. I want you to know, JT will always be a part of this show, and Drew will always be a deadbeat. So it's, live with that. Okay. Maybe we should have him on.
No, that's okay.
All right. Okay, moving on.
Okay. Trying to quit.
So, trying to. Okay.
No, don't touch me there. That's my no-no clear.
All right. So Creep 2 came out in 2017. The original Creep came out in 2014, but I saw the original Creep in 2014. I think Creep 2 I saw like a little bit later, but I believe it was in. I saw the original Creep in 2017, not 2014. And I saw Creep 2 a little bit later. Okay. The beginning of this movie kind of like I was excited. I was so fucking excited because I had no idea where it was going to go. I mean, and very similar to how my feelings were in the first Creep. So, Mark Duplass obviously comes back. Thank you. As the killer in Creep 2. But this time his name isn't Joseph. He goes by the name of Aaron, which...
Do you think that's what he does? Each victim, he becomes that person?
I want to say yes, but given his victim in this one, I mean, he's not going to go by Sarah, right? But no. I love where you're going. I think he did that specifically for Aaron. He loved Aaron, right? And I mean, that echoed in this movie too. But in the opening, you see a guy retrieving a package, right? And it's recording him the whole time, and it's like, you knew right away it's a package from who we know as Joseph, the killer from Creep 1. It's recording him. He finds a DVD, plays the DVD, and it's just some guy whistling. And it's obvious that this guy, and the guy's name is Dave, is very unsettled about this tape. And then you hear a knock at the door. Dave goes and opens the door, and he goes, "Hey, Aaron. Hey, good to see you." And Aaron's like, "Hey, whatever. Yeah, good to see you too." Obviously, clear buddies. And for whatever reason, I was thinking that maybe it was a prequel, or not prequel. Yeah, maybe a prequel, and we were going to see the original Aaron. But who do we see sit down on the couch? It was Mark Duplass, the guy who played Joseph. Yep, the guy who played Joseph in Creep 1. And now you just know that this guy Dave is one of Aaron's, the killer Aaron, one of his people, right? And one of his pawns. But he's like, "Dude, you got to call the cops. You're getting stalked to this and that, blah, 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 blah." He's like, "Hey, you know what? Let's have a beer."
It's unconscionable. That's what he kept saying over and over again.
Yeah, you're right. He did keep saying that.
What the fuck?
I was like, stop saying that. But he's like, "You know what? Let's just have a beer. Let's just fucking wind down. Let's talk, whatever." And then they start talking about how he appreciates the friendship that they have, how they had just recently met not too long ago, and he's like, "I feel so close to you. I feel like we're best friends, blah, 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 blah." And then he decides to confess that he was the one stalking him, sending him the tapes. Why did that happen?
Hey!
After the scene, I got to talk to you about something. That was...
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do anything.
What we have coming up to that the fans don't know about, that's going to fit in.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Anyway, so he's talking, he confesses that they know it was him, and he's like, "You know what?" He's like, everything's okay. And then the guy goes to get up, Dave. Aaron just fucking takes a knife out, slits him in the throat, and then kills him. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of that. Hold on, cut for a second. I'm not going to cut this, but what the fuck was that thumb that just showed up on my screen?
Yeah. Do you remember a while back when we first started recording, I kept hearing those noises in the kitchen that time?
Yeah.
I had recorded in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Same concept.
Dude, what we have coming up very, very soon, and again, we're not going to spoil it for the Deadbeaters. It's a surprise, but a pretty fucking big surprise. That just freaked me out.
Dude,
okay.
That future episode is going to have to be like a two-parter. Like, it's going to be like, it needs to be 2 hours of recording.
You might be right. I just talked to that publicist today, and I'm just trying to agree on times. We have 2 tentative dates, and then we have to just work out a time. I need to know when this person's available, and then she gives me the time, and then we'll work around that time, and we'll figure it out. Anyway, very fucking cool and important stuff coming up very soon. But anyway, that's the opening scene to Creep 2, and then it continues. Go ahead.
But the opening scene also had a lot of motivation behind it too, because during that time at the kitchen table, he's like, "We started off hot and heavy. We was doing things at the coffee shop, getting at it." He goes, "I'm 40 years old now, and it just doesn't feel the same anymore." So automatically you can see Aaron now, who is Joseph, which is the killer, going through like a midlife crisis. He's not the same creep from Creep 1. He's now Creep, but depressed.
Yes. Yeah. And, dude, I don't know what's real or not in this movie. That's the fucking craziest part. It like, fucks with me. You know, I don't know. This whole character, Mark Duplass, it's just the whole thing fucks with me. And I don't know where number 2 is going at all. Anyway, after the opening scene, it opens up to this girl, and she's a YouTuber or makes videos, and she meets up with creepy people online and just interviews them. Whatever. Not really getting a lot of views, right? But she sees on, what's the website? Craigslist? I think it was like a Craigslist ad, and it was the same exact ad, pretty much, that Aaron saw. It was like, hey, a day of recording, $1,000. She reached out to the number, and then the number she said that she was interested. The number responded and said, are you easily scared, right? Are you creeped out easily? And she just put no. And he's like, perfect, let's meet. And then they meet, and but this girl, like, her character was so different than Aaron's, right? In Creep 1, Aaron was indifferent. Aaron was unsure about every single moment and movement he was doing and every action that he was doing. He was just so unsure the entire time. This girl, that goes by the name of Sarah, she's strong.
Yeah.
Very strong-willed, right?
And she knows what she wants. She knows what's driving her. Like, she wants to be famous. She wants to be successful. She wants to get money. It's like you said, she goes to these places, no fear, just totally immersed into whatever she's walking into with the hopes of getting views and likes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so she agrees to do this. And do you want to talk about their first interaction together?
Oh, man. So she gets there. I might miss a few parts.
Yeah.
But he's making the smoothie, and he won't even turn around. She's like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, give me a second. Want a smoothie, Sarah? Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, these two, you say that she's not like Aaron, but Sarah is like a lot like Aaron. They are both creeps. In my mind, they're both weird individuals. Something's wrong with Sarah. And hopefully we explore that a little bit.
Yeah.
But every time that he says something creepy to her, she accepts it and just shakes it off. Like, he admits, like, hey, I kill people.
Yeah.
I slaughter them. Like, I kill them. It's cool. He's like, oh, you don't believe me? And he sits down on the couch and he turns on the DVD. And literally you get to see he is watching the end of Creep 1.
Yeah.
He is watching himself walk up in that park and kill Aaron.
And, like, you know what? You make a good point. Like, this is another reason why, like, I have, like, you always think something is up his sleeve, right? Always think something's going on. And there's ulterior motives to every single thing he's doing and saying. When he sat her down on the couch and was like, nonchalantly, I'm a serial killer. I've killed about X amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to record, I promise you, said to Sarah, hey, I promise you, I won't kill you for the next 24 hours. I just want to record this. Yeah, sweet guy, right? He's like, I just want to record this, right? And I just kind of want to be genuine. I want this to get deep. But like, that's where, like, when you hear that, it's like, are we getting the real guy, right? Because we had no idea who this guy was, Joseph, in Creep 1. All we know is that he lied.
Yeah.
He wasn't married. He was the brother of some lady, whatever it may be. And I was like, okay, cool. We getting this actual guy. But, dude, right at that moment, I'm like, we're never going to know fully who this guy is or what this guy's name is. He's fucking playing mind games the entire time.
And Sarah doesn't even know. Sarah's seeing him in that video supposedly kill that guy. Mm-hmm. And she fully either doesn't believe it or doesn't care. But what's so funny after that, dude, is he goes, I want to get real with you for a second, Sarah. I want you to know every inch of me. Mm-hmm. And he goes, hang on a second. I'm going to go upstairs. So he runs upstairs and she's sitting there like, oh, what the fuck? And she sees the axe like hanging over the door.
Yeah.
That he used, and she's like putting everything together, and then he comes down in a towel. You remember this scene?
Oh,
comes down in a towel, and he's sitting there and he's talking to Sarah, and a towel. Just like, let's be honest with each other. I just want you to know me. Like, this is me. And he's going through all his, he does these weird monologues.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, bro, he drops his towel, and all you see is his tallywhacker.
Dude, did you time it? You typically time things. Did you
I did
time
not.
how long? Okay.
I did not
'Cause it
time
was-
his tallywhacker.
It was such a long time. I kept on like looking away.
Oh,
And
I
then
did.
looking,
I
like,
stared
oh.
right, dude. It's like staring right into the sun. I went right from his eyes straight to his tallywhacker, and I just started staring at it. It had a heartbeat. I was like, bro, you can't hang dong. You know what I mean? You can't do that for that long. Could you imagine
Dude.
hanging your boober out for like 35 seconds?
I think it was more than 30. Dude, it was a long time. And he's just standing there with his hands on his hips. He's
Oh,
like, this is me.
And
I'm-
if you don't, this
I'm
is
not
how I want to
reenacting
greet
it.
you.
No, that's how you're going to greet me.
That's what you to come over, and I drop my towel and to see my tallywhacker hanging out. But then Sarah's just as freaky, dude. Sarah's like, "Hey, hold the camera." He's like, "Oh, okay, oh, hang on." And that's the first time you see him shaking. He's like, "What is this? Why are you giving me the camera?" And dude, she straight takes pants off, and there's her whistle.
Did you see her
And
hairy
there's
armpits?
Her Chewbacca arms.
Yeah.
Kind of like this.
But did you
You see
notice
her titty.
what was okay? So compared to him being naked, right, and her being naked, what did you notice when
His
it came to
tallywhacker.
that?
Oh,
All right.
Sorry.
Why did I ask that?
It's
What I
goofy.
noticed, okay, when she was recording it, she was showing his
Oh,
showing his, the whole time.
his
But when
penis.
right, thank you. When he grabbed the camera, as soon as she started undressing, he moved the camera up, had no intentions on seeing any of that.
What a
That's
hot
where it's
fuck.
like, it's like, what is going on here? What are the motives here? What is fucking happening? Yeah. And she got naked, and she's like, "Hey, I'm just as vulnerable as you. Let's press." The whole relationship was wacky, like the entire time. Like they were kind of going tit for tat on how weird they can get.
Mhm.
He's scaring her, she's scaring him. And then he decides to take her out to like the woods.
Yeah,
You
he
wanna
was
continue?
driving her. He was driving her in the Peach Fuzz mask in the
Mhm.
car. He's like,
That's
"Does this
right,
mask scare you?"
Yeah.
She's like, "No, I think it's kind of cute." What if I tell you like I was a bad person under here? Like, oh, then I guess it'd be kind of scary then. He goes, "What if I tell you that when we get to the end of this road, I'm gonna cut off your head and snuggle fuck it?" I said, "Fuck."
I forgot
He
about
goes
that.
in
Yeah.
and out of being like an adolescent kid to I'm gonna fucking snuggle fuck your skull.
Yeah, fucking insane.
Oh.
So
Oh.
then they go to this really secluded area in the woods and find like this kind of riverbank above a bridge. And he just wants to record like a monologue again,
Yeah,
but it's not working.
he's
Right?
so
There's
pissed.
something going on the whole time. There's either an airplane, there's a bird.
That
there's-
bird pissed him off.
Oh, big time. He kept on yelling at it and trying to throw shit at it. But things kept on interrupting him. And then the last thing to interrupt him was Sarah. What is happening with that thumbs up, dude? I did not do that.
Get back! Swipe or no swiping?
When
I
you
don't
do
know.
a thumbs up to the camera, it should register it. There it is. I did not do that for that anyway.
Well, for the how about the listeners that can't see the video?
Yeah, so listeners, earlier when we kind of stopped and talked about something else, oh, you know how iPhones or Apple products, what are you doing to your nipples? Stop,
No,
it's not
sorry.
going to do
You're
anything.
talking. I'm doing my own thing for the.
If,
While you're
if you
talking
put
to
like,
the listeners,
I am
I'm
talking
doing
to
something
them.
for the viewers.
Okay, you do that as a, but if you do like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or maybe an OK symbol, the Apple product will pick that up on the camera and put it up on the screen. And it did that earlier, and I didn't put a thumbs up, and now it just did it. I don't believe in paranormal stuff. I don't believe in any of that shit. But listening to somebody recently that we're studying and researching a lot on, a little freaky.
And don't
Maybe
forget
we'll
about
talk-
191 McKay Road if you can go back and listen to it. our episode.
Right. Yeah. We have an episode based on JT's childhood home. Very freaky stuff. Okay. It's not real. It's fucking. See, there we go. Thumbs up. But why did it do on that side and not the other side? Like it was okay. Anyway, anyway. He's trying to shoot this monologue and stop.
Okay.
For our listeners, JT was doing a very obscene hand gesture.
I did one punt with my hand.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Stop it.
Okay.
So the last person to cut off or the last thing to cut off and interrupt Aaron, the killer, was Sarah. She's like, "Hey, Aaron, there's a lot of shadow in your face." He got so fucking pissed, where he's like, "I need to leave. I need to walk away." Walked away. Sarah was looking all over for him. Being a creep movie, I expected him to jump out at her, but she found him face down in the dirt, just wallowing in his sorrows.
Dude, this is where we blend. Like, I'm the creep fully in how I act, but once this is the turning point where he turns into you. So if me and you were one person, I was this happy-go-lucky weird guy, and then once he snaps after trying to film his monologue,
right,
and laying down face down in the dirt, that's you.
Why would I do that?
Because you get mad, and when you get mad, you pitch fits.
Okay, that's fair, but
you remember that time you threw the wine ball at me?
All right, we don't talk about that.
Okay,
that was one mistake.
Okay,
all right,
I was out of line. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll get into it. Anyway, some more wacky bullshit happens where Aaron is pissed off at Sarah the whole day, like the rest of the day. And Sarah's like, I need to try to make it right. And she goes down, and he's listening to like some sort of song that she's never heard, and he's just in a hot tub. Do you want to talk about what that conversation and that interaction in the hot tub?
Bro, first of all, this was his tummy time number 2. Because he's always in the tub. He loves baths. Like, who doesn't? Am I right? Like, who doesn't love a good bathtub?
Jesus.
But he starts explaining about the band. He's like, that's a band you never heard of, but it's the greatest band in the world. Mm-hmm. And she started pressing him, like, what does it mean? What does it mean? He's like, they're a bunch of nobodies. This is their cassette tape that they gave me. Back when I was younger, they found me hitchhiking on the side of the road. And they took me into their van, and we partied, and then they dropped me off. Mm-hmm. And then... what was the second half of the story once he got dropped off after the band?
Didn't he say he got molested?
Well, he said another guy picked him up from the side of the road.
That's right.
And he got in, and the guy drove him around, but he didn't drive him to his destination.
Yes.
The guy drove him out to the woods, and then he made him dig his own grave.
That's right. So not molested. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Uncle Jack?
Dad.
But then he's like, I didn't, like, at first I kind of feared the guy, but then I started to respect him. But then I noticed he was weak, and then Aaron took the advantage and got a hold of him and killed him, actually buried that guy in the grave.
Well, before he buried him, he laid next to him.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the grave. Yeah, he because
that's where he got. Grave. Didn't he say that's where he caught the beard disease? He has like a trypophobia?
Yeah, he picks at his beard a lot. So that's why he has patches.
Yeah, because of that incident.
And obviously he was very unsettled, right? So then Sarah puts the camera down and goes over to him and does the very, like, sensual, like...
So fucking jealous of that moment. Everybody who has not seen Creep 2, go watch it. I want Yoko to do that to me. Dude, that looks so badass.
She keeps on grabbing him by the throat.
Get your fucking throat choked and get your tits rubbed and rubbed on your head and your back. It looked relaxed. It really did look awesome. He looked like it calmed down a lot.
Yeah, and okay.
You can cut all that. That was just a personal thing I wanted.
No, it's gonna say it.
To me, personally.
All right, and then they start playing around after that. They start having fun, and Sarah is his first kiss because he said that he was a virgin, and it was just the whole interaction was so fucking weird. But then at one point, Joseph sits Sarah down and was like, "Hey, I know you make videos. I know you've come here to do this like for your own accord. It's okay. He's like, I'm all right. And you could tell she was unsettled. She was like, fuck. Like, he knows. Now he's definitely going to kill me. He's like, I'm not going to kill you, remember? She's like, yeah, but you said, like, after 24 hours, you were going to kill me. Like, what happens after that? And he goes, don't waste it. He said, don't you waste it. Now, why would you go and say that? That's what he says. Now, why would you go and say that? And that's where you're like, oh, fucking hell. Okay. But then they go through this series of events where Aaron, the killer, Joseph, Mark Duplass, whatever, is like, you know what? The reason why I'm not going to kill you, like the reason why I'm not going to kill you after the 24 hours and after this day, like the reason why I'm not going to, you know, I know you're not going to report me to the police, is because I'm going to be dead at the end of this. And you're going to help me.
Dude.
And she's like, what? So he goes through these series of events where he makes attempts to kill himself or have an assisted suicide. The first attempt, he throws on the peach fuzz mask, lays on a coffee table, gives Sarah the axe, and was like, all right, yep, fucking take one swing. I just recently sharpened it, so it should only take one swing. Go ahead. And then he goes, wait a second. He's like, okay, go ahead. And she doesn't do it. And then what was the second attempt?
He goes, okay, I got it. And then it cuts to him sitting on the second balcony. And he's like, okay, this is more passive and not as cool, but if I'm going to jump off and hang myself, and if you don't come save me, you're complicit in the murder. He goes, okay, fucking ready? And he goes, boom! And she's like, what the fuck? And she's picking him up. And he's sitting there just choking to death, and luckily the rope breaks and they both fall. And then it cuts to Sarah being all pissed off and like, I can't do this. That was finally the cutting point for her.
She was packing and she was leaving, and she's like, Sarah, what are you doing? Like, she's like, I can't do that. I can't believe you fucking did that. I can't believe you put me in that situation. And he's like, Sarah.
All right.
It shows a fucking harness. And he's like, it wasn't real. Like, none of it was real. And she was like, okay, I'm going to stay with you. And then it's nighttime and they're running around out back. They're playing hide and seek.
Because why not? I mean, if anybody's listening along with this movie, it's as strange as we're describing it. All this stuff happened.
Yeah, the events are so fucking crazy and so out of, you just don't know what fits where. And then at one point, he brings her in the woods, right? And then she's like, where are you taking me? He's like, Sarah, what? 1 second. Why would I want to spoil the surprise? And then he brings her to a grave, like a shallow grave.
Yeah. And
Sarah's like, oh, God, he's going to fucking kill me. She reaches for the knife. He goes, I got it right here. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Okay. All right, this is happening. He's going to actually fucking kill her. And she goes to run away. She drops the camera. He jumps on her, and behind a tree, he's fucking stabbing the fuck out of her. Going to town. I was like, it looked so fucking nuts.
Because he was vulnerable. I mean, even before that, he was like, he wanted to Romeo and Juliet with her. Like, he started stabbing himself. Yes, and then gave her the knife as like, hey, you kill yourself too. Like, that's how crazy he is.
Right. That's what happened. I'm sorry. You're right. He has the knife and she doesn't run away immediately. He starts stabbing himself. Right?
Yeah.
And here you do it. So let's die together. Let's lay together in this grave. And she ran away. And why are you running away? Sarah, where are you going? You're in the middle of nowhere. Dude, that's such a fucking heinous line. You're in the middle of nowhere. You cannot escape.
He's like, I got your keys. All kind of stuff. Everything you can think of, he's already saying. He
gets her, tackles her behind a tree and a bush, and you just see him fucking going to town and fucking stabbing the shit out of her. Puts her in a grave. If I'm not mistaken, he kind of lays in the grave with her too, but he's not dead, right? So he creeps out, and he's like, I guess I didn't die or whatever. He creeps out.
I got it.
Goes and faces the camera, and just like Joseph Aaron fashion, killer fashion, he's starting a monologue. And then what happens? Sarah
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go
So
ahead.
creepy.
Tell me.
No, you got it. I'm listening. Tell me the
Sarah
story.
is slowly creeping out of the hole, grabs the shovel that's right there, and smacks him in the back of the head, lights out. She runs away. I'll tell you what, anything that we had just talked about was not, to me, the creepiest part of the movie. The creepiest part of the movie came at the very end. So, there is a camera panning on people that are just walking down the sidewalk. And in the distance, you see Sarah kind of weaving her way in between, people. Just walking. She gets on a bus, a commuter bus. But now there's another camera on her. And you could tell somebody who is a commuter in the train or the bus is videoing her. She's just nonchalant, just kind of looking around. And then she looks at the camera, looks at the person recording, and then widens her eyes.
You hear that little whistle?
Black. Can you imagine?
No.
Dude, what that was so fucking freaky. I would have loved if the movie ended with him like just fucking stabbing the shit out of her and then just putting her in the hole.
Yeah.
But they had to go that extra mile, and he's a creep, right? If I'm not mistaken, my definition of what a creep is somebody who creeps on people, right? Who stalks people, who plays with their food right before they kill it, or plays with their prey before they kill it. He let her live. Sorry, does that get weird?
Not a
That get
creep,
weird?
right? Right?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, maybe. But her face, dude. I did not like this girl Sarah at all. I hated her character. I wasn't really a fan of the actress until then, though. She fucking impeccable acting. Looking at the camera, looking at the person recording, and wide eyes. And I'm like, it's him, and he's going to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. In some movies, you don't need. Like for me, I love when everybody dies. I didn't really need that in this movie because she dies.
Yeah.
It's just who he is. That's the movie. It was all over the place. It was, but I'll tell you what though. Anytime Mark Duplass was on the screen, I couldn't help but think about how much I texted you, and I said he's a fucking genius. He's a genius. Dude, I think he doesn't get enough flowers, dude. I don't think he gets his roses. I don't think he gets the flowers he deserves. He is impeccable on the camera, right? He's just a fucking fantastic actor, and an absolute genius. There's not enough good things I could say about him. Perfect. His acting is perfect.
Only thing I can think about him now is this tallywhacker. So
you stared at his dick for a long time, and you just like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was hitting. It was. I hate to admit it, fellas, but I mean, it was there.
fellas.
Am I right?
Definitely not as good as Creep 1,
No.
but it still lived up to the Creep name. Like it was what I expected out of a Creep movie, and that was just Mark Duplass just being him. Thanks. And it's just impeccable acting, and I can't wait. I can't wait to cover Creep tapes. We're not going to do it yet, because I think it's something we should get back to. I think there's like 6 or 7 episodes maybe that had dropped. I don't even know if it was that enough, but
that is a TV series.
we have. Thank you. We have something in the works. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. That's Creep, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hang on. You rated the last Creep. What'd you give the last? I don't know if you remember. What do you give?
I'm
this
pretty sure I
movie?
gave it an 8. I think I gave Creep
sounds right.
1 an 8. I'll give this a 6.5. And it's not bad. I don't think that's a bad rating. Okay. But yeah, that's Creep. We have fantastic things in the works. As you guys know, as our debutators know, we just recently added a new member to our team, Deadbeats Drew, and his chill out. All right, his forte, his niche is books. He's a published author himself. And he's a genuine, he's funny, he's a perfect addition to the family. And
Fuck.
you like him too. I know you like him too.
I love you though. I don't. He's all right.
All right. So yeah,
Talk about me.
really
Say things
right.
about me good.
Anyway, we have if you guys are listening and you haven't followed Deadbeats Drew yet, please do that on Instagram. And you can see his book reviews, and he puts up funny posts, funny videos. He kind of makes fun of JT every now and again, which, hey, he's good in my book. But Deadbeats Drew, I can't say enough good things about him. Yeah, he's awesome. He's really good at what he does too. So that's Deadbeats Drew.
Shit.
All right. And we have other things in the works as well. We're looking to expand the family. That's all I'm going to say for now on that on that news. We have really cool interviews on the way. Not going to say their names yet, but we will be making posts on them. We have we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Dude, 2024 was such a good year for Deadbeats. 2025 is going to surpass that. And I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for it. We have Drew, we have you. We have the podcast. We have Yoko. Yoko's doing very well. She's our what's the word I'm looking for? She's our
get this right on the fucking get it. You're straight two for me already, bud. Okay.
She's our unofficial manager, and she's been doing very well behind the scenes, networking, talking to people, and getting our name out there. And I appreciate Yoko. I appreciate you doing that as well on your Instagram. You know me, the only Instagram that I manage and that I really keep up with is the Deadbeats one, and I don't really have any other Deadbeats like Will one. It's just that is me, that is us, that is Deadbeats. Yeah, cool stuff coming up. Anyway, follow us on Instagram as Deadbeats Podcast. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we also have a TikTok. JT, listen, I will let you get out whatever you need to get out, but I do need to finish. I need to close out the episode, and that's all I need to tell you.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
You always cut me off. So
I'm not going to this
me,
time.
So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be safe with this because I think
Fair.
you're tricking me.
Okay.
Drew, you talked about him too much. I didn't like that.
Okay.
That hurts my feelings. I don't like
All right.
Drew. We shouldn't have hired him. I told you no. We should have picked the other two guys. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I made a post earlier in the week regarding a picture, and I said if anybody gets this correct,
The episode's almost over.
that I will say a specific phrase to you that the Deadbeaters and you have been waiting to hear. Deadbeaters, thank you so much for listening. Please come back and see us. And JT, I love you.